During my third grade year, I was in summer school and I got the interest from the robotics team that had came in, showing us the robot, letting us drive it, that I wanted to be in robotics since then.
So I joined robotics in like 8th grade because my sister was ahead of me and she just inspired me to, come into it and try it out.
I was associated with the Uper Troopers out of Cedarville. I got hired in up there, and that was part of my job description, was to be the robotics coach. When I got hired down here, one of the reasons was I had that experience. And so I haven't been here from the very beginning, but I've been here for the vast majority of it. Coming into this season last year, there was a few things that I really had in mind that I really wanted to do. One, I wanted to keep things as simple as possible. We always look at simple and efficient, simple and efficient, simple and efficient. What do we want to do? And I wanted to build a brand new robot frame this year to be a custom frame for this particular event.
So leading up to Escanaba, the first is always a frenzy to make sure that you've got all of essentially your ducks in a row, your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. Escanaba we went into it like, gosh, we're ready for this competition. And then something was wrong. And we didn't realize we were carrying around that whole first day a dead wheel. So once we got that part figured out, day 2 was way better.
On away, Autobots, and it's good.
So Traverse City was definitely our best showing that we've had in quite a few years. Our robot was working perfectly. Our fourth wheel was now working. We didn't have any problems, mainly the entire competition.
They're going straight across the field as they collect another note in hand.
Traverse City was a big event with states coming up, and it was a big thing because we've never been to states 2 times in a row, ever.
We were qualifying really good. We got into the end qualifications, got into like 20, 40, 60th place, somewhere in there, which was really good for, a small town in northern Michigan.
On-away Autobots, shoot and score into the blue.
So moving out of states, we had an idea of how many ranking points that we had. And since we've never really gone to Worlds before, we just knew that we had X number and we had to be in the top, so many of the states.
So I think when we finally realized that we were going to make it to Worlds is when we got the official email that came through from our contact in FIRST. And then it was almost like, yay, but now what? What do we do?
Leading up to Worlds, it was a lot of panic of, do we have the money to make this trip actually happen? And are we going to have to bring a skeleton crew?
Yeah, it was debated. Let's just take the drive team. And then the next day it was, well, not everybody's going to experience this experience again.
We have 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks to figure this out. So it was, kind of nerve-wracking. We found out on Saturday night. So Monday morning, Robin and I are sitting in the office of our superintendent. She made it apparent that there was no way that a student that wanted to go wasn't going to be able to go. And we're very upfront with the costs to our students. They knew going into this, hey, you might have to fundraise some more. And we sent them all to their social media. And we put stuff out on the school social media. Almost immediately, the questions started coming in. The community started asking, how do I donate? How do I donate?
And by the time we left for Texas, we probably had close to $20,000, and still money came in after that. And we had businesses that had already donated just showing up at our door. Our local Little League donated. It was humbling to see the amount of people that came out of the woodworks to say our kids are going and we're making this happen.
It was so expensive to our avail and fundraising from the community helping us was a big thing for us.
Within that 2 weeks, it trickled in to the point that our trip to Houston, which ultimately cost more than the entire season itself, all 3 events was fully funded by the community.
So Worlds was a big thing for us. We went down there for a week instead of just a couple days.
But a lot of the kids haven't left Onaway. A lot of the kids have never been out of the state. A lot of the kids have never seen the ocean.
So we met at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. We made it apparent that this was going to be a week-long event. The competition started on Wednesday, and we wanted to do some stuff while we were there. We did a straw poll. Like, how many of you have ever seen a body of salt water? Not necessarily an ocean, because it's the Gulf of Mexico, but a body of salt water. We were taking 16 students. 3 had seen that. Well, we're going to go to Galveston Beach while we're down there and let them go swimming in the Gulf of Mexico. This is something they haven't done. Let's make this firsts. We're right there next to Johnson Space Center. We're going to get down there with time. We had a member of the community donated money for all of us to go to Johnson Space Center. So we all went.
Worlds was one of the most, if not the most incredible thing I've ever experienced in my life. The fields were all the way down for like half a mile. There were so many like different there were teams from other countries. Everything was just so exciting to witness.
So I think the whole Worlds experience, like overall for our kids, like what an opportunity to take them and experience it. The support from our community. I keep going back to robotics for me, and this has been from the beginning of it, is just opening our kids, our students, to that there's so much more out there than just Onaway. And I remember, I'll think back to my very first time mentoring, chaperoning for kids and them going to a hotel. They'd never stayed in a hotel. To now I'm taking kids out of Onaway, but yet to a city, kids that have never been out of Michigan, kids that have never seen an ocean, the skyscrapers in Houston alone, like just their eyes, and getting to experience that alongside them. It was definitely an experience that I will forever remember.